So welcome to From Faith to Paid, the 30-minute shortcut offer lab. And the reason why I'm calling is this because we're going to do some implementation steps to get you really going. So is this implementable? Mary came to my 2-day event, which this is a shortened version of the 2-day event that I did last month, and made a sale in the same week using what I shared in this training. So yes, you can implement. She said, I used the tips and made another sale. Thank you for your training. So definitely can implement. And I'm making some changes to my mini trainings to be more implementable than me talking. So along the way, you'll do some things. So I want to first of all say, a lot of times for anybody who's watching the replay, we feel trapped in our old program ideas. A lot of times we're programmed a certain way, especially when we're entrepreneurs who are from the faith or being faith-led. Church tells us a whole different other story, making you feel like you have to do everything in the church and in a spiritual place where you don't get paid. That is not true. Sometimes you're trapped in feeling like you can't get paid for the gifts God has given you, and you most certainly can. There's always someone one step behind you. So even if it's something not that you think that you can't get paid for, more than likely you can, especially if God is calling you to it. Thirdly, we are trapped with the lack of confidence that people actually need your services. And a lot of people have this, what they call imposter syndrome, or feeling like, who's going to want what I have kind of thing. And I wanted to like dispel the myth of actually making anyone feel that they don't need this stuff. So there's a lot of fake news out there. There's a lot of noise. Everything works. Hi, Calvin. Stop forcing what.
Hello.
Thanks for coming. Stop forcing stuff that doesn't fit. I went into a program one time, and the thing that the guy was giving me was a bunch of Google Docs, like on top of one another, and it just couldn't figure out which goes where. And I went to him and told him, this is not for me. So it didn't fit, and that's okay if it doesn't fit. So follow what fits you. Okay, everything works. All right, so I want to stop and say a prayer. So Father God, I thank you so much for this opportunity I have to share what you've put in my heart to share, and to give it back to the people who you have called to be on a mission for you. I think we are instant entrepreneurs. The world might tell us different, but we've all have selected gifts that you've given to us, and I pray that I can be used as a conduit to them actually executing their gifts. Thank you for bringing these people on the call. In your precious name I pray, amen. All right, just a little bit about me. For those of you who are watching the video, I'm a high-ticket consultant strategist who is dedicated myself to helping entrepreneurs around the world achieve their goals. And over the past 5 years, because I have been an affiliate, network marketer, make money from home. But in the last 5 years, I had converted to a coach, and I've served over 200 clients and generated 80K despite working a full-time job with my partner. And I've mastered the collapsing of time risk, and enabling my clients to get exceptional services and results. I have an unwavering dedication to my craft and to my clients, and I am a humble servant of Jesus Christ, and I will go above and beyond to ensure that my clients get the most out of the time that they have with me. So that's who I am. And welcome to the From Faith to Paid 30 minutes shortcut offer lab. And I'd like to start off with a verse. I love to start off with verses that really help people to see themselves. First, not first, we're Proverbs. I had another verse here, but Proverbs 16:3 says, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. So when you create a business idea and plan and share it with God, He makes sure that you accomplish it. There's nothing like inviting God to be a part of your business. And I know a lot of times, sometimes we don't do this. We kind of like go off on our own and depend on what the market is saying, depend on what our coaches say. But our biggest coach is God who sent us here. So I like to define things. Let's see. I hate when this thing is in the way. I like to define things. What is a shortcut trust offer? What is that for real? Well, it's a low life, not a low lift, high trust offer that gives clients a clear win and builds momentum. So I don't believe in just one and done. A lot of people will get into a program, get results, but it's one time. I don't believe in that. I believe in building momentum, and it keeps going. It shaves the fat from a bloated, unclear offer to an offer that is super clear. The second thing it does, it's not all about you and your skills, just one solution that your dream clients need right now. So we're dealing with where they are right now, and I'm going to delve into that in a minute. And it's built around who they become, not what you do. A lot of what we do is we focus on the method. So the core message is not about you, right? Most people build offers around their method. I help people do this, or I help people do that. The shortcut trust offers are built around moments of change for your clients. That is the main focus. It's not about how you're going to deliver this and that. And it's a totally different way to look at your offer. So this is what I call the heartfelt framework. And it walks your client through the before, during, and after. So when we look at our shortcut or our offers in such a way, it's very easy for us to grab something from our premium offer or grab something that we want to share with and get paid on if we look at it from these lenses. So I'm just going to walk through really fast on this. Before the transformation, what keeps them up at night? Like, what are they Googling right now? If you're thinking right this second as I'm talking, what are they Googling? And what are they afraid won't happen without your help, your help? So that's what's going on with your dream client right now. There's a before they come into your world. So this is what's going on with them during the transformation. What's your shortcut solution? What is something that you can bring them across the finish line to build trust? Because that's what we're doing with these trust offers. We're getting paid and we're building trust so they can graduate or go to a different offer, maybe a higher ticket offer or your premium offer. So that's what we're trying to do, because the market today, it's very hard. The trust is not as easy as it was maybe even 10 years or even 5 years ago, right? So during the transformation, what is your shortcut solution? What are you going to bring them? What you're going to do to bring them across the finish line? How do you remove friction fast? And I'm not talking about tools. A lot of people use tools like funnels and webinars or even something like this. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how do you remove the friction fast, mentally, emotionally, practically, or all three, right? And what's the aha moment or shift you spark or gap you fill in? Those are the things that you're supposed to be doing during the transformation of your best fit client. So let me use somebody right here on the call. So for like Joyce, it's pretty much easy if they're the person that she's trying to bring a transformation for, from dull, brittle hair to vibrant, soft, curly hair, then she has to know what they're experiencing before they come and sit in her seat, and what she's going to do when they actually sit in her seat. And the after transformation, who are they becoming? Are they becoming more confident? Are they becoming a leader? What are they becoming afterwards? What's the new results of freedom? Are they that are possible? Are they becoming more confident because I sat in her chair? Now I have other ways to style my hair. Now I feel I can go to the family reunion or class reunion with confidence. What are they confidently doing now? And you want that momentum to continue and doesn't stop. That's another thing. We don't want it to be a one and done. We want it to continue. So building that momentum that they can continue to do this, whatever the transformation is. So that is the heartfelt framework that the shortcut offer follows. Finally, why does this matter? When your offer is positioned around transformation, not tech, not templates, or what the market is saying, it becomes desirable without needing a sales page or a webinar. You're going to be able to do this in the DMs, which I'm going to go over in a few minutes. The DM I created. So I wanted to give you a real life example. This is a pastor. His name is Pastor Justin Fox. And I found him in a group, and he was asking this question as he does this sales page that he was creating, is it clear? And I personally told him I don't see clarity because it had a few things that I felt was wrong with it. It had a lot of stuff on it. It was bloated, it was big, it was busy, right? He's talking about graphic novels, he's talking about children's books, he's talking about self-help books, he's talking about video games and more. That's a lot for someone to consume. And who exactly are you talking about? Who's the dream client? It wasn't very clear. At the top of the page, it said coaching on finishing your creative projects to start your passive income. What does that actually mean to someone? Like, people really need to know exactly how that's going to transfer for them or how that's going to help them, right? Learn how to begin and end a creative project in simple steps and systems. Not very clear. What are the steps and simples? What do you mean by creative projects? It's very, very vague and very, very bloated. And this is what happened after we got together, because we got into the DMs and I sold them in the DMs. 30-day Fable Factory. First of all, it has an IP, an intellectual property, which you should really have for your for whatever you're doing, that creates branding, that creates you, and that separates you from your competition if you have an IP. He created an IP called the Fable Factory. Learn how to begin and complete your children's book, because that's what we discussed. He wasn't a believer either. At first, he was like saying, no, this is not going to work. I have too much creativity, which most of entrepreneurs feel that way. They feel they have a lot to give. But I assured him, when he took all the bloat out and really focused on one solution, that he was going to be able to be a lot more successful. And that's what actually happened with him. So it says, learn how to begin and complete a children's book in simple steps and systems. Make decisions very simple in 30 days. So he streamlined everything. Streamline your creation process for results in future projects, and save time by honing in on a focused and easy defined workflow, right? So the transformation was real for him. And now he has something that he can go on and on with. So here's some real results from him, because you want real results for your clients, right? So this pastor wanted to sell his $2 gospel-based comic books. So he started there. That was the end result. That was the transformation. But he used these same frameworks to do what he already started, which was these comic books that he had. And they were $2. He said he had 50 already in his inventory, right? And he sold it out. And he said he was going to start another one. So like I told you, it should build momentum for that person to feel like, oh, I sold out my 50. I think I can do it again, right? And he was capable of doing it again. And he overstepped his goal. So again, think about it. It's only a $2 comic book. So let's say he only sold to each individual one comic book. That's over 570 people, right? Because he made four figures with a $2 comic book. He went over his goals and he did it in February, like he said. So that wasn't just a one and done. This made him feel like he can do it over and over again. And this is what your shortcut offer can make your audience feel like. All right. So that's why I'm a great believer of that. And then you can see down here that he's actually saying that I had something to do with that success, which made me feel so great. So, of course, I said this is going to be more like a workshop. So if you please, can you take like 5 minutes to write down answers to these three questions as it pertains to your clients? So you can open a Google Doc or write it down with a pen and paper, whatever you want, put it in your notes on your phone. But, and if you don't want to do it right now, make sure you do it for the replay, because guys, you have to actually do the work like Mary did in the beginning. Like I showed you, Mary actually did, but I did this 2-day event. She actually implemented this and made a sale. So where do your best fit clients, right? Your clients, where do they typically get stuck or overwhelmed? Where are they right now, right? Before the transformation? Are they choosing tech, having problem choosing tech, or they have problem pricing their offer, visual? Is their hair brittle? Do they have a fat, flabby stomach and they don't know how to get rid of it? Is constant, are they not having enough confidence to do the things that they want to do? Do they want to do a pixie cut and then afraid their hair is never going to grow back? What is it? Strategy? What is it? Right? What's the lie they're believing in that moment? The gap where you can help them. Here's an example. It has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, it's not going to work. This was Pastor Justin's issue for his clients. They felt that the illustration had to be perfect. And he's now eliminating that limiting belief or that gap, right? Or I need a bigger audience. It's never going to work because I don't have an audience like someone else does, like a big guru who has, 10,000 followers, right? What is the one sentence you can say that would set them free, right? Who can they become? What can you say online? What can you put in a post? What can you say in a DMs that can change their viewpoint? Here's an example. You don't need perfect tech. You just don't need it in order for you to make a sale. You need a powerful promise, though, right? That's a perspective that you can change. That's a gap that you can feel. That's the one sentence that you can say on social that can make a vast difference to how people raising their hands and saying, I want to learn more, I want to join you, or what have you, right? So make sure that you write down these answers. Those of you who are watching the replay, make sure you do this because, like I said, this really works in today's market right now. Are we good, Calvin?
Yes, I just dropped it in the chat.
Okay, let me take a look.
For context, I work with Christian businessmen. Is Christian businessmen, primarily some ministry leaders as well.
So the best way to do this is to validate. If you haven't already validated, this is a good way to validate what you're doing, especially if you're pivoting from another offer, because we pivot all the time or we're adding offers. So let's write a post that can test or validate using this structure. Now, a lot of people used to do, I help blah, 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 blah. I don't use that because that really, it's more you kind of centered thing. I find that this works a lot better when you say something like, how, and you insert the client's struggle, whatever that struggle is. How you're trying to be empowered to talk to your wife in a certain way, and it just seems to fall flat. You always end up in an argument or whatever. Or how when they tell you to use a moisturizing shampoo, but you don't know which one because there's like 10,000 of them, and it keeps holding you back from even choosing one. I created I put shortcut to help you do the quick win, but yours can be insert anything, right? Without whatever frustration, right? If you want it, I can show you how it works. This is either called a two-step post or a validation post. And I'm going to give you an actual example. So mind clutter, maybe Calvin, this can help your people as a marketing coach. You know how you're overthinking your offer. Oh, no, sorry, you know how overthinking your offer keeps holding you back to the point where your notes app is a graveyard of abandoned ideas. I developed a simple process to help you go from idea chaos to cash in hand with a low ticket offer. No tech, no spiral. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see exactly how this works. We have to, if we're going to be doing this, we have to make offers all the time. And even if they like it or they interact with it, it doesn't have to be if they put their thumbs up. A lot of times people don't want, back in the days, people didn't care whether or not they knew something or not. I remember back in 2012, if you put something out, everybody was raising their hand. It's hard for people to raise their hands now because everybody's a coach and everybody doesn't want to feel vulnerable. So they might just interact with you. And if that they do that, you can still go in the DMs and sell them, right? Here's another one, DM avoidance, your chat strategist. So you know how trying to sell in the DMs makes you feel like a pushy weirdo instead of a spirit-led woman on a mission? I have a reframe that's working like gangbusters, one that turns awkward sales conversations into your first four-figure sales. If you want it, I can show you how it works. So anything along those lines, you can take this, reword it, make it into your own, put it in chat GPT, whatever you want to do, and get it for your particular validation, just to see. This is a really good test to see if people want your offer. It's a really good test to see if you have the right audience on your page. It's just a really good test to see where your audience is on it. It could just be a test too. It doesn't have to be something that you're doing to get a sale. It could be just, hey, I want to see if anybody actually wants what I have. And that's a great way to validate your offer. So I encourage doing stuff like this on a regular basis, maybe once every 2 weeks, you make an offer like this. So I want to encourage you by saying mindset reset, from hesitant to heaven sent. What people call imposter syndrome is sometimes just unhealed fear. What if I'm not ready? I hear that a lot from people. I'm not ready. Oh, God hasn't called me. He didn't give me the thumbs up. If it's in your head and you have the idea, he is giving you thumbs up. He is saying go for it. Don't be afraid, right? Hidden pride. What if I fail publicly? So what? Look how many people have failed and still got up and did it again until it worked, right? If God is calling you on a mission, if he's telling you to do something, you need to go and do it because somebody's waiting for your solution. Comparison disguised as humility. I'm not as polished as her. I'm not like the big gurus. And so you're running in fear. It's actually it's disguised as humility. Don't compare, right? Because here's the thing. You're not here to compete. You are here to complete an assignment. And if God called you to it, then you got to do it. Amen to that. So here's one of my clients. I just wanted to share how this mindset shift happened for her. So let's play the video real quick.
Well, that I had six new signups in my business, and that's never happened before, which is big for me. It's probably a couple of weeks to get everybody. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, that never happened to me before.
Yeah, so that's what I like about when you use a Google Doc in an effective way,
Yeah.
it can be something that will change the whole trajectory of your business. So happy that happened for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And I think it also speaks to just going over that process with you gave me a lot of confidence. So I think that came across to people.
That's what I loved when she said that. When she said that, that really blessed me, because she said the confidence that she got after the transformation, who she became, was more confident, and it carried over. People saw that in the way she spoke and the way she presented. And that really blessed my heart. So I thank God, and I want you to take a deep breath. Whew, and say to yourself, I can do this. If you're watching the replay, take a deep breath at God, thanking God that He called you to something specific, right? And you're on a mission to do it, and that you can actually do it, because Kelly was doing this for about 4 or 5 years, and that she said that's never happened to her before. And she made six sales in 2 weeks. So it can happen for Kelly. It can definitely happen for you. So I'm going to switch over to the DMs, and we're almost done. I think I'm a little bit over time. I hope that's okay. Let me see what the chat is saying. Truth, amen. I can do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Joycey. Yeah, so here's what I believe, that content, organic stuff, especially if you do an organic and not paid, DMs are the shortest path to cash, not your funnels or webinars or any of those things. Those have frictions. People have to stop and put in their name and email in an opt-in page. People have to do things before they get to you. When you're in the DMs, they're with you. It's the shortest path to cash. And if you can really see yourself in the DMs actually being the boss man or boss babe that you can be, you can actually really sell in the DMs. So I want you to look at the framework here. It's a 3-part framework. There's a connection point that happens. You lead with warmth, shared context, or a real engagement. Not, hey girl, or what's up, dude? But I saw your profile, or I saw your profile. Don't say that. Try, I saw your post about a specific thing that you know that there you can put a gap in there. You know that there's a gap there somewhere, right? The message was fire. Can I ask you something about it? So what's good about trying this is everything is about that person. It's nothing about you. I saw your posts about, the eating disorder, or not being able to man up when you need to man up in a specific situation, whatever. That message was fire. I loved it. Can I ask you something about it? So it's all about what they feel is important. And then you do a curiosity line, like ask something rooted in what they've shown they care about, what they've shown they care about. So nothing vague, nothing generic. Try, are you still looking for a simple way to whatever that is? Comb your hair without any shedding, you know, whatever that is for you, if you see a gap in what they're saying after you have to start the conversation with them from the previous thing. If you find a gap that what they're saying and they actually say something that you know you can fill, you can put that in there. If they don't say it, you can fish for it. You can say, I've often heard this, this, and this, and this. What are your thoughts about it? And let them speak until you see that gap, right? And then you could do a soft invitation after that. Oh my God, hold on. Give them an easy yes without pressure or pitchiness. Try, would it help if I showed you how to solve X, Y, and Z? Would it help if I showed you that you don't have to shed, your head doesn't have to shed, there doesn't have to be a whole lot of stuff in your comb, I can definitely show you a different way. Can I show you a step towards a purpose in life for your business? Can I show you, the lies that you've been telling yourself that you can definitely change the image and the identity of, being able to take control of your household if you're a man or whatever, right? Or how to speak to your wife without friction, however you solve that issue. So yeah, do a soft invitation inside the DMs. So we'll audit together. We can look at our most recent posts, like 3 to 5 posts, or even your bio section, and any posts that got attention but no conversions. That is something to take a look at, because we should be making conversions with our posts, especially if we have the right audience who are very, very connected to you. I know, Calvin, a lot of people love your posts because you're funny and everything. So when you throw out something that's serious or something that they need to pay attention to, I'm sure that if you do that, then you'll probably have some people who will raise their hands, because you have a very engaged audience. I see them engaging with you, and you have a lot of people. I personally need to build up my because I switched offers, so I need to rebuild. But you always have somebody sitting on your profile that needs what you have. So you have to, by the order of the Holy One, you have to put it out there. So I want you to take a look and audit your profile and make sure that you're actually, if you haven't gotten conversions, you need to check out why. Maybe you haven't done a 2-step post or validation post in a long time to see what your audience has. So here's a shortcut message audit that you can try. It has 3 core filters, and ask these about every piece of your content. Is there a shortcut transformation on your content? Can people tell what will change for them clearly and quickly? Make sure if you're writing content that they can see a clear transformation going on. I'm going to give you an example of it in a second. Is it easy to respond to or take the next step? Is your DMs open? Are you saying, meet me in the DMs? Do you invite connections? I want to talk to you about something. Or is it just, here's a tip, bye? No, let's make sure that you're keeping this conversation going with the people who are liking, loving, or commenting, right? All 3 works. Does your tone carry certainty? Are you speaking like an expert? Or are you or like someone who's hoping to be picked? A lot of us do that and not do it, and do it unconsciously too. Like, we have to have a commanding voice. This is this and this is that. And you can't care, not to say you don't care about them, but you can do it in such a way where they need to hear this, they need to have the solution. So you have to speak with the certainty that it deserves, right? Oh, didn't I? Hold on. I think, oh no, I didn't get to it. So from post to person activation practice, this is where the content stops just being inspirational. So if you're just doing what inspirational, or what I call unicorn posts, and start building relationships that convert, right? It's not just about putting words online. It's about positioning yourself as the shortcut expert, then making it easy for someone to say yes. So that's something to think about. From post to person activation, you want to activate a conversation and conversions with the persons you have on your page. So here's step 1, send a real DM using a friendly expert flow. Go back to your latest post and find someone who liked, comment, or engaged. Then send a real message using this 3-step flow. So let me see what I have here at the top. Connection point. Hey, John, I saw you liked the post about stop having these crazy arguments with your spouse. That's been coming up with a lot of people I've been helping lately, right? So you're giving them some context as to why you're even in their inbox, a connection to what they liked or commented or loved on your post. And here's the curiosity line. Are you working on something in that area right now? Or is that something that I saw that you loved it. So is that something that's coming up for you as well? You know, something like that. And then there's a soft invitation. And then wait for the answer. Wait till they answer. Don't just keep barging at something. Wait till they answer. If they don't answer, you could push a little bit more. You can say, hey, reason why. The reason why is a really powerful, powerful thing. If you don't get anything else from this workshop, the reason why is so powerful because people love when you tell them the reason why you're doing something. The reason why I'm asking you this is because I know da 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 da, and that causes people to actually talk about it because there's some shared value or some shared experiences, right? So when you put a reason why, if they're not answering you, you could say the reason why I'm asking you this is because I know a lot of guys who get into crazy arguments with their wives, and it's because of certain things that they're saying that's triggering them into the argument. So this is the reason why I'm asking if this is an area of concern for you, right? And then you make a soft invitation once you get to that point. I've got a shortcut that might help, or I got a framework, or I got a PDF, or I got a video guide, whatever you have. Want me to send it over? Call, whatever that is for you. The goal is to practice connections without pressure. Don't pitch, serve with charity. You see, someone said something in the chat. All right. Here's the second step. Write a post or story caption that invites conversation. Now, take what you've built so far and write something that you could post today, tomorrow, that invites your people to talk back. Use this formula. Call out the stuck moment where they're stuck at. Reframe the fear. Get them out of their heads and saying that this is something that it's not. Present your shortcut, whatever that solution is, and invite a reply. And here's an example. You don't need another template. You need one sentence that actually sounds like you. I created a shortcut to help you find your DM voice, the one that feels clear, human, and trustworthy. Want it? Message me voice and I'll send it over. Goal is don't just share value, share something people can say yes to. Here's step 3. Use the heartfelt framework to write a transformation-centered post. This post doesn't need to be long. It needs to walk someone through the before, during, and after of what you help them shift. Use this layout. Before, what's the real problem they're facing? What's frustrating, stuck, heavy? During, what shift or shortcut do you guide them through? What's the turning point? And after, who do they become? What changes? What feels different? Right? And here are here's one of the frameworks you could use. You've got 14 pages of notes and no actual offer. You're exhausted and you're still unsure what to sell. During, we trim the fluff, clarify your shortcut, and turn it into a trust building offer. After, now you're sending DMs with confidence and getting actual replies from people who want to buy. If you're ready to sell something clear and simple, message me shortcut and I'll show you the framework. The goal is to make transformation tangible. Show what's possible when they move with you. Make it tangible. Make it something they can actually see. Yeah, I got 14 notes. I don't want that. Yeah, I keep arguing with with my spouse, or I can't get my teenage son, to even talk and look me in my eye. What the heck is that? Like, make it tangible, right? And then during, you're like trimming it. The reason why that's happening is because you don't know, and put in your IP, the talk to your dad checkout or whatever, or the hair softness plan, whatever that is. You know what your IP is, right? And then what's going to happen? Because when you do this, then now your son is looking in your eye and he's respecting you and he's showing you that, he sees you as the man of the house and not just some guys, shouting out orders at him or whatever. So that's the way the framework should look like. Now it's time for ahas. Can you come off mic and tell me if this was something that really landed for you, what did you take away from this? What was the best point about this very short training? Come off mic and let me know. Nothing from nobody? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, for me, I did started. I did started responding to people when they like my posts, and I'm so happy that they are responding back to me now.
Great.
So I guess it's just a matter of me constantly doing that to see the next step. But but you gave me some steps as to keep them coming back. So that's where I'm at. I'm happy about that.
Oh, great. I'm glad I helped. That helped. And write those posts. Like when I send out the replay, take some of what I said and put it in Chat GPT for yourself and like get some really stuff. Get them talking on your posts too or liking stuff. That will help a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
Great.
Well, it's being a gentleman to let Joyce go first. That's what it was going on. So, now some of this is confirmation of the simplicity of it. Like you're saying, that one gentleman who was the author had all these different things, and then simplify. We can make things so bloated and instead of really just speaking simply. But and I use that same framework now instead of the elevated spiritual. I do that. I help. I never liked that too much myself either. And so the kind of how I've used it. Well, you know how most men don't have business problems; they have personal problems that show up in their business. Well, I help men transform from the inside out so that they can live the life they got and got extended for them for their life and business. That's kind of in a similar vein, and that does when you ask that question, we sleep on how powerful good questions are. The quality of your life is the quality of your question. So the Bible says, you have not because you ask not. So asking them to engage in that, they have to go to their subconscious mind and think, well, yeah, I do know how that is. Well, yeah, that's interesting. I was thinking about that the other day. So you engage in them versus just me bragging on what I do. So I love that methodology they use too as well. So I see that being very effective.
Yes, definitely. And those who ask the question also controls the conversation, right? And so definitely don't run away. I think a lot of entrepreneurs actually don't ask enough questions. So, and then they wonder why they're not getting the results because they don't even know what's going on in their best fit client's mind because they're not even asking any questions. So that it's just all so good to ask those questions because then it fills in even the gap for you and your process. So yeah, thank you so much. And if you guys hang on, I'm going to share with you my DM. This actually handles objections in the DMs as well. So, and I'm still tweaking it. I'm going to come out with something called the DM Charm School, which is going to do like a whole lot of stuff in the DMs so that if you want to just get cash on hand and grab that cash real quick and have a cash injection inside your business, you can actually use the DM and not wait for the big thing. If you just want to get some real cash for now, you want to take your kids somewhere, these actually work really well for that. So, and for those of you who are watching the replay, I'm so sorry you're not here because this is only for the people who came on live. So if you want it though, you can click on the link below and set up some time with me and then we'll just go over that. No pitching, no anything. We'll go over it then. But thanks so much for watching the replay and thanks you guys for coming and we'll go through the DMs tool that I have now. Talk to you soon. Bye.